Rain tapped softly against the apartment window, while 8-year-old Lily pretended to be asleep on the couch. From the kitchen, she could hear her mother crying again. Not loudly. Never loudly. Emma had mastered the art of silent suffering years ago. The microwave beeped. Then silence. Then a shaky breath. Lily slowly opened her eyes, just enough to see her mother standing alone under the dim, yellow kitchen light, staring at 2 plates of untouched pasta. One for herself. One for a man who had left 4 years ago and never came back. Emma suddenly grabbed the second plate and dumped it into the trash. "I'm such an idiot," she whispered to herself. And for the first time in months, Lily saw her mother wipe tears with trembling hands. Outside, thunder rolled through the city. Inside, Emma Carter quietly decided she would never trust another man again. The next morning smelled like burnt toast and exhaustion. Emma rushed around their tiny apartment while balancing a coffee mug between unpaid bills. "Lily's shoes," she called. "I can't find the blue one." "Then wear the pink ones." "They don't match." Emma closed her eyes for a second. Just 1 second. That was all exhausted mothers allowed themselves. "You know what?" she muttered tiredly. "Nothing in life matches anyway." Lily frowned. "You're doing the sad jokes again." Emma forced a smile. "Sorry." At 34, Emma felt older than her years. The dark circles beneath her eyes had become permanent. Her ex-boyfriend, Daniel, had disappeared when Lily was 4. No goodbye, no explanation. One day he simply stopped answering calls. At first Emma panicked. Then she begged. Then she waited. Eventually, she stopped believing people stayed. Now she worked double shifts at a dental clinic while trying to survive motherhood alone. Most nights, she fell asleep in jeans with the television still glowing. Most mornings, she woke up already tired. Love no longer felt real to her. Only responsibilities did. Across town, Noah Bennett sat in his parked truck outside an elementary school, gripping the steering wheel too tightly. Children laughed outside. Parents chatted. But Noah stared straight ahead like he was preparing for battle. "Dad." A small voice broke through his thoughts. 7-year-old Sophie leaned forward from the back seat. "You forgot to blink again." Noah quickly exhaled. "Sorry." "You do that when you're thinking about Mom." The words hit like glass. Noah looked away toward the school building. "Maybe a little." Sophie quietly climbed into the front seat and wrapped tiny arms around him. "You don't have to miss her alone." That nearly broke him. Noah swallowed hard before kissing the top of her head. 3 years earlier, his wife Claire had died after a long battle with cancer. Watching someone disappear slowly had changed him forever. He still remembered hospital lights, the smell of antiseptic, the sound of machines, Claire squeezing his hand weakly and whispering, "Promise me Sophie still grows up around love." He had promised, but after losing her, Noah stopped knowing how to be around people. Especially women. Especially emotions. So he buried himself in routine. Work. School pickups. Laundry. Lunchboxes. Survival. Just survival. Emma first met Noah on the rainiest Tuesday of the year. And honestly, it started with coffee. Bad coffee. The cafe near Lily's school was overcrowded from the storm. Emma stood impatiently in line while Lily dripped rainwater across the floor. Then someone accidentally bumped into Emma's shoulder. Her coffee spilled instantly across her sweater. "Oh God, I'm sorry." A deep voice. Emma looked up sharply. Tall. Dark jacket. Tired eyes. A little girl hiding behind him. The man immediately grabbed napkins. I should have watched where I was going. Emma sighed heavily. "It's fine." But her tone carried years of exhaustion. The man noticed. "You sure?" I said it's fine. Lily looked between them awkwardly. Meanwhile, the little girl beside him whispered, Dad, you attacked her. The man blinked, then unexpectedly laughed. A real laugh. Soft and warm. Emma hadn't heard one like that in a long time. I'm Noah, he said gently. She hesitated. Old instincts immediately built walls. Men charm you before they disappoint you. Men apologize before they disappear. Still, Emma. Their daughters smiled at each other instantly. Children were fearless that way. A week later, Lily came home with exciting news. Sophie invited me to her birthday party. Emma looked up from folding laundry. Who's Sophie? The coffee attack girl. Emma immediately knew. Oh. She says her dad makes amazing pancakes. That's wonderful. You sound weird. I'm not weird. You're doing the suspicious face. Emma rubbed her forehead. Lily. What? You're not allowed to emotionally profile me. Lily grinned. Too late. Emma wanted to say no to the party. Every instinct screamed no. Because life had taught her something dangerous. The moment you let people close, they leave. But Lily looked excited, in a way Emma hadn't seen for months. So she agreed. Noah's house was small but warm. Not fancy. Not perfect. But alive. Children's drawings covered the refrigerator. Tiny shoes cluttered the entrance. Music played softly from an old speaker, while pancakes cooked in the kitchen. Emma stood awkwardly near the doorway, holding a gift bag. Noah noticed immediately. You can relax, he said softly. I am relaxed. You look like you're being held hostage. To his surprise, Emma almost smiled. Almost. Sophie and Lily disappeared upstairs laughing within seconds. Then silence settled between the adults. Noah flipped pancakes carefully. You want coffee? Emma hesitated. Depends. On what? If it's terrible. He smirked slightly, still holding the cafe incident against me. Maybe. He handed her a mug. Their fingers brushed briefly. Emma pulled away too fast. Noah noticed that too. Noticed everything, actually. The way she scanned rooms automatically. The way she never fully relaxed. The way exhaustion lived behind her eyes. He recognized survival when he saw it. Because he wore it too. Weeks slowly turned into routine. School pickups. Playdates. Soccer games. Shared dinners when schedules became impossible. Nothing romantic happened at first. That was why it felt real. Noah never pushed. Never flirted aggressively. Never tried to impress her. He simply showed up. Consistently. And consistency terrified Emma more than charm ever could. One evening, Lily fell asleep on Noah's couch after movie night. Emma carefully lifted her daughter into her arms. You don't have to carry her alone, Noah said quietly. I've been doing it alone for years. The words slipped out colder than intended. Noah nodded slowly. I know. Something about his response bothered her. No pity. No judgment. Just understanding. That was somehow worse. Because understanding could crack walls. And Emma's walls were the only thing keeping her safe. Late October brought colder nights. One evening, Emma received a call from Lily's school. High fever. Possible flu. Within an hour, Emma sat anxiously in urgent care while Lily slept weakly against her shoulder. The waiting room smelled like disinfectant and old coffee. Emma checked her phone repeatedly. No missed calls. No help coming. Just like always. Then suddenly, Emma. She looked up startled. Noah stood there holding Sophie's hand. What are you doing here? Sophie hurt her wrist at soccer. His eyes moved to Lily immediately. What happened? Fever. You eaten anything? Emma blinked. What? You've been here a while. I'm fine. That wasn't my question. Something in her chest tightened unexpectedly, because nobody had asked her that in years. Noah disappeared briefly. 10 minutes later, he returned with soup and tea. Emma stared at him carefully. You really don't have to do this. I know. Then why are you? He looked at sleeping Lily. Then at Emma. Because someone should. And suddenly, Emma had to look away before she cried. That night changed something. Not dramatically. Not magically. But quietly. Like warmth slowly entering a frozen room. After that, Emma found herself waiting for Noah's texts. Not romantic texts. Simple ones. Did Lily's fever go down? Don't forget Sophie's recital Friday. You look tired today, get some sleep. Small things. Safe things. Still, they mattered. One cold November evening, the power went out across Emma's apartment building. Lily immediately panicked. I hate storms. Emma lit candles calmly despite feeling uneasy herself. Then came a knock at the door. Noah. Holding flashlights and blankets. Sophie insisted we rescue you. Behind him, Sophie nodded proudly. We brought snacks too. Emma laughed softly before she could stop herself. A real laugh. Noah froze slightly hearing it. Because it was beautiful. And rare. That night, the four of them sat on the living room floor eating microwave popcorn before it went cold. Rain battered the windows. Candles flickered gently. The girls eventually fell asleep together beneath blankets. And for the first time in years, Emma didn't feel lonely. Not completely. Then came the night everything cracked open. It was nearly midnight. The girls were asleep upstairs at Noah's house after a movie marathon. Emma stood in the kitchen rinsing dishes quietly. Noah dried them beside her. Simple. Domestic. Dangerously comfortable. You ever think about him? Noah asked carefully. Emma's hands stopped moving. Daniel. He nodded. She stared into the sink. Less than I used to. That's good. No, she whispered. He frowned slightly. What do you mean? Emma finally looked at him. It scares me how little he matters now. Silence filled the kitchen. Then slowly, painfully, Emma spoke again. I used to think if I loved someone enough, they'd stay. Her voice trembled. I blamed myself for years. Noah stayed quiet. He left without even saying goodbye to Lily. Do you understand how cruel that is? Tears filled her eyes now. She kept asking when Daddy was coming home. Noah's chest tightened painfully. Emma laughed bitterly through tears. So eventually I stopped trusting people, because at least if you expect abandonment, it hurts less. Noah stared at her for a long moment, then quietly said, My wife died in my arms. Emma froze. The room suddenly felt smaller. Noah looked down at the dish towel in his hands. I still hear hospital machines sometimes. His voice cracked. And the worst part. He swallowed hard. I couldn't save her. Emma had never seen grief look so exhausted. Not dramatic. Not loud. Just permanently heavy. Noah finally looked at her. That's why I understand you. For the first time since they met. Emma completely lowered her guard. And cried. Winter arrived slowly. So did love. Not the cinematic kind. Not fireworks. Not obsession. Something softer. Safer. Noah fixed Lily's broken bookshelf without being asked. Emma packed extra lunches for Sophie when Noah worked late. They learned each other's silences. Each other's fears. Each other's bad days. Sometimes healing looked ordinary. Then Daniel came back. Just like that. One Thursday afternoon, Emma opened the clinic door and nearly stopped breathing. There he was. Older. Thinner. Still familiar enough to reopen wounds instantly. Emma. Her stomach twisted. What are you doing here? I just want to talk. 4 years. 4 years of silence. And suddenly, he wanted to talk. That night Emma couldn't sleep. Memories flooded back violently. Arguments. Crying. Waiting by windows. Holding Lily while pretending everything was okay. She hated herself for still being affected. The next day, Noah noticed immediately. You all right? Emma forced a nod. Fine. But Noah knew. Because pain recognized pain. What happened? She hesitated. Then finally whispered. Daniel came back. Something shifted behind Noah's eyes. Not jealousy. Fear. Because suddenly, he understood something terrifying. Emma still carried unfinished wounds. And unfinished wounds could destroy new love. Daniel kept calling. Texting. Apologizing. Claiming he had changed. Emma ignored him at first. But the emotional chaos returned anyway. Old doubts. Old confusion. Old anger. One evening Noah arrived to pick up the girls for ice cream and found Emma sitting alone in darkness. You didn't turn the lights on. I forgot. Noah sat beside her quietly. You don't owe him anything. Emma laughed weakly. You ever wish people came with warning labels? All the time. She looked at him carefully. You make trusting people seem easy. His expression darkened instantly. It's not. Then why do you keep trying? Noah stared ahead silently for several seconds. Then finally. Because Sophie deserves to grow up seeing love that doesn't disappear. Emma felt tears burn her eyes again. God. Why did he always know exactly where her heart hurt? But fear is powerful. And sometimes when people finally feel safe, they panic. That panic came 3 days before Christmas. Emma accidentally found old photos of Noah and Claire while helping Sophie search for decorations. The pictures were beautiful. Happy. Whole. Claire looked radiant beside him. And suddenly, Emma felt like an intruder inside someone else's unfinished life. That night, she pulled away emotionally. Texts became shorter. Calls unanswered. Distance returned. Noah noticed immediately. Finally, he confronted her outside Lily's school. Talk to me. I am talking. No, you're hiding. Emma crossed her arms defensively. You still love her. Noah looked stunned. Claire. You look at her photos like she's still here. She was my wife. And I'm what? The replacement. The words hit harder than she intended. Noah's face fell. You think that's what this is? I don't know what this is. Yes, you do. Emma shook her head emotionally. Noah, people leave, or they die. Either way, you end up alone. For a moment, hurt flashed across his face. Then quietly, painfully, he said, I thought I was finally building something safe for us. Us. That word nearly broke her. But fear spoke louder. I can't do this. Noah stared at her for several seconds, then nodded once. Okay. And walked away. Christmas felt hollow afterward. The girls noticed immediately. Lily stopped talking during dinner. Sophie became quiet at school. Even the apartment felt colder. Emma tried convincing herself she made the right choice. Safety through distance. No attachment. No heartbreak. But loneliness returned worse than before. Because now she knew what warmth felt like. And losing warmth hurts more than never having it. 3 nights later, Emma received a phone call at 2:13 a.m. Sophie was in the hospital. Asthma attack. Emma drove through icy rain, with Lily half asleep in the backseat. When she reached the hospital, she found Noah sitting alone outside Sophie's room with his head in his hands. Completely shattered. Emma slowly approached him. "She okay?" Noah nodded weakly. "She's stable now." Then suddenly, his composure cracked. "I thought I was losing her too." The raw terror in his voice destroyed every wall Emma still had left. Without thinking, she wrapped her arms around him. And Noah broke down completely. Years of buried grief. Fear. Exhaustion. Loneliness. All of it poured out in one silent hospital hallway. Emma held him tightly, while tears filled her own eyes. "You're not alone," she whispered. For the first time. She truly meant it. The next morning Sophie woke up asking for pancakes. Everyone laughed from pure relief. Even nurses smiled. Later, while the girls watched cartoons from the hospital bed, Noah found Emma near the vending machines. He looked exhausted, but honest. "I don't want to replace anyone," he said quietly. Emma looked up slowly. "I know. I'll always love Claire. I know. But that doesn't mean I can't love again." Her eyes filled instantly. Noah stepped closer carefully. "You scared me, Emma." "I scared myself too." Silence lingered softly between them. Then Emma whispered the truth she had spent years avoiding. "I think part of me believed loving someone meant eventually losing them." Noah nodded gently. "Maybe." He reached for her hand slowly. "But maybe being loved is worth the risk." Emma looked down at their hands. Then finally, she stopped pulling away. Spring arrived months later with open windows and softer mornings. The apartment that once felt painfully lonely now carried laughter again. Pancake Saturdays. Movie nights. School projects spread across kitchen tables. Tiny shoes everywhere. Normal chaos. Beautiful chaos. One evening, Emma stood quietly in the kitchen watching Noah help Lily with homework, while Sophie braided his hair terribly. And suddenly, Emma realized something important. Love had not rescued her. Love had not magically erased pain. But it had made pain easier to carry. That was enough. More than enough. Later that night, after the girls fell asleep during a blanket fort movie marathon, Emma and Noah sat quietly on the balcony beneath warm city lights. "You know," Noah said softly, "you still do the suspicious face sometimes." Emma laughed. "I probably always will." "That's okay." She leaned against him carefully. Comfortably. Safely. "I spent years teaching myself not to need anyone." Noah kissed the top of her head gently. "And now?" Emma looked through the apartment window at their sleeping children. At warmth. At life. At the family they never expected to build. Then she smiled through emotional tears. "Now I think maybe staying is real too." Below them, traffic hummed softly through the sleeping city. Inside the apartment, children dreamed peacefully. And for the first time in a very long time, neither of them felt alone anymore.